Hey, it's Steve with Global Comics again. So I just got another submission back from CGC this week. It was my first submission of magazine-sized comics. They pretty much consist mainly of Australian Newton comics and a couple different 181 magazine-sized comics. But overall, my experience is that the magazine comics definitely took, or the magazine submission definitely took longer than I was expecting. And I'm not that impressed with the kind of the fit and finish of the slab. The slab seems kind of thin, and the labels are kind of real wonky in the slab. They're all kind of wrinkled up. And a couple of the books they didn't center in the slab, and I've seen this on a lot of magazine size slabs. I don't understand why. Some they center, some they offset. It just seems inconsistent. I wish they would just center all of them. But overall, I have a couple issues, but overall I'm happy, and I don't really think I'll be submitting too many more magazine size books. I have another submission there right now that's magazine size. I think that one's only got 3 different comics in it. But so we'll go through these and check them out. So first up is Hulk 181 from Spain, La Masa 40. This is the second time they printed this comic in Spain. This one was pretty beat up. I was actually kind of surprised it got a 5. I was thinking it would get lower grade. It's got plenty of spine ticks, crease down the center. But the interesting thing about this is that they actually labeled it as Hulk 181, which is how they would label the comic-sized foreign comics. But for whatever reason, the magazine size, they didn't change the labeling on. So it seems that they're in the process of changing the labels now. So it does say first full appearance of Wolverine, and it says contains Hulk 181 and 182 inside. And just like the regular size comics, it says, the American version, the Spanish publisher, the date of the Spanish comic, the title of the Spanish comic, Spanish edition, and then if it has a key appearance or anything, it says that there in the notes. So, yeah, I believe this cover would have been drawn by Lopez Espy, I'm pretty sure. So, this doesn't really make sense being on this cover, seeing as neither of these, this artist wasn't involved in the cover. So it would be nice if they would update that to say Lopez Espy cover. That would make the most sense. But like most things with CGC and foreign comics, I'm sure it's a work in progress. All right, so here we have the first time Hulk 181 was printed in Spain. So this is a beautiful book. These can be pretty tough to find, and they tend to be pretty expensive. On the American market, you might be looking to spend anywhere from $600 to $1,000 on a good-looking copy. On the Spanish market, if you're actually buying direct from Spain, these tend to go anywhere from real low grade, maybe 200 to 300 euros, up to 400 to 600 euros for a super nice copy. This copy I actually paid, I think, about $400. But I bought it direct from Spain, so I obviously got a better deal on it than you would if you were buying it from American eBay. The label, for whatever reason, is the old style label, so same submission, same country, same kind of same set of foreign comics, but they label it 2 different ways. So this is the old school style label, the La Masa Volume 2, Issue 4 from 1975 by Mundi Comics, which was Vertice Comics as well. But at least they say it contains 180 and 181. 6.5 white pages. That's pretty high grade for this book. I know there's some real high grade copies out there, but this one, for what I spent on it, I'm happy with the grade. It came back about exactly what I thought it would. And of the 2, I think I like the white cover better, just because it's the original time it was printed, and I think the art just looks a little cleaner. All right, next we've got the UK Hulk 181 from England. Second one came back a 5.5. I've had this one for a long time. Probably should have upgraded it, but I never did. I've owned several copies of it, so I'm not even sure if this is the highest grade copy I've owned. I've just kind of bought and sold them in the past. You used to be able to find them on eBay UK for about $100. That was the going rate for a couple years, and now I think they're 300 plus for, same grade. They've definitely gone up in value. And these are interesting because it actually has, if you look at Hulk's face, it has the original art that was done for Marvel, and then they edited it for the American market. But for whatever reason, UK got the original art. So it's good. Like I said, variations what make these foreign comics fun. So it's cool to see that variation. So yeah, there's not much going on this label. This is the old style label. Not much description. And you can kind of see what I was saying with the labels. They're just they look all like flimsy, and they're not sitting well in there, and they're all kind of warped. I wish they would put a little more effort, maybe use some thicker paper, so these labels would look a little better in there inside the case. This one doesn't look too bad. All right, so now we're moving to Australia. So this is Newton from Australia, X-Men 1. And this one, they gave you some more information. Newton Comics, 1975, Australian edition. It contains X-Men 1 and Avengers 10. And this one is actually, I was surprised to see that they actually noted that the superhero card is inside. I've never seen them make that notation before. So I'm wondering now if any further issues are submitted without the swap card. Are they going to get a green label, or what's going to go on with those? So I'll show you in a minute, but I submitted a couple that didn't have the posters intact, and they give you a 0.5 for being incomplete, or I think if you could request a green label if you wanted. So if the poster, not having the posters getting you a green label or a 0.5, in the futures, not having the swap card going to give you the same thing, we'll just kind of have to find out. But these Newtons, these are my favorite foreign comics of all of them, and the colors are just insane. You can see, Magneto's wearing yellow gloves and helmet, and they got some crazy color choices on the costumes here. So real fun comics. These used to be fairly affordable, and now they've just gone insane. You can't find a complete copy for probably less than, or right around $1,000 now. And even the incomplete copies are rising in value pretty quick with the missing posters inside. I think I paid $100 for this one, but that was probably 3 years ago. This was one of the first Newtons I bought, maybe 4 years ago. And I definitely went on a pretty hard Newton kick there. I was emailing any contact I could in Australia, trying to find as many Newton keys as I could, because I just loved them. And then I guess a lot of people feel the same way, because they've definitely shot up in value. So I'm glad to have the ones I have now. All right, so here we have, this is one of the ones I submitted that did not have the poster inside. So you can see it says incomplete, centerfold poster missing, effect story. So they automatically gave me a 0.5 blue label. I probably would have preferred a green label with an actual grade on it, but I didn't say one way or the other. I didn't tell them that's what I wanted, so they just gave me the 0.5, which is fine. But look at this, the colors on this are just insane. It looks so good. Super bright, crisp, crazy colors that they used. So yeah, these Newtons are pretty great books. So 1975 is when this one was printed. All right, we've got Avengers 1, pretty high grades, 6.5, white pages. This one actually tells you what the centerfold poster is, so it has a Thing color centerfold pinup. So this label, kind of weird that doesn't even say Australian edition on it. Like all the other ones, the other ones all say Australian edition, have a little bit more info. This one just really doesn't tell you anything. So I'm assuming this is like the old style label. So I really don't understand why some are getting new style label, some are getting old style label. But it's a great looking book. I don't remember how much I paid for this one a while ago, but I know one just sold, I think today or yesterday, for over $1,000. I think it was 1,100. So I'll put that on the next sales report. I'm thinking I probably paid less than $100 for this copy, but like I said, that was several years ago, and it pays to get in early on these things because they've definitely gone up quite a bit in value. All right, so here we have low grade Fantastic Four 5. So this one has the new style label. This is Origin and First Appearance of Doctor Doom. So this one I knew was going to be low grade. It had a lot of water damage, some kind of mold going on, and it was. I actually bought this from a guy in Australia who found the entire run under his house in his crawl space. So they were all kind of stuck together, and so I did what I could with them. I ended up selling the number one and upgraded it to the copy I just showed, and sold off some of the other ones, but I kept this one because I've only ever seen this one come up for sale maybe once, maybe twice, and it's a beautiful book even though it is low grade. It definitely has its issues though, so I knew I was hoping for a 3.0, but 2.5 I'll take it. All right, so here's another incomplete copy that I submitted, Hulk number 1 from Australia, Newton Comics. So this one was missing the centerfold poster as well, so you can see it says that right there. And great cover, great colors. The strange thing about this one is this is Hulk number 1, but they didn't print Hulk number 1 inside, so that's kind of strange. So that's why they give you the Hulk 1 just because that's what's on the cover, but over here it does say it contains Captain America 109 and Tales to Astonish 63 and 64. So great book, but does not have Hulk 1 inside. All right, and here we have Daredevil number 1, Newton Comic from Australia as well. This one also looks like the old style label. This one I was kind of surprised. I was hoping I was going to get it over a 7.0, and it's a pretty clean copy except for this kind of crunch going on the top and this little corner ding. But if you look at the spine, it's super clean, and the back cover looked good. So I don't know, I was hoping to get over a 7.0, but it's just, you just never know what you're going to get. And I'm by no means a professional grader, so I'll let them do their job. But great looking book. This is one of the rare Newtons from what I've heard. I don't think they printed much of a Daredevil run. Like most of them, they had X-Men 1, X-Men 2, X-Men 3. This one, I'm pretty sure they just did Daredevil number 1, and then they had a couple like Daredevil one-shots, but they didn't do Daredevil 2 or Daredevil 3 that I know of. And if they did, please correct me if I'm wrong. But so this book, last time it came to market, it sold for right around $1,000. I haven't seen one probably in about the last 6-7 months. Now that Newtons have gone kind of completely nuclear, I would expect the next one that comes to market to go for over $1,000 probably. But great colors, like all the Newtons, just crazy colors. And I think that is it for my magazine submission. So yeah, I'm happy overall. The grades kind of pretty well came back. Besides this one, what I thought they would. And so now we know in the future that if you want a green label on any of these foreign comic mag size books, just request it. Otherwise, you're going to get that incomplete 0.5, which for me it doesn't really matter. I'm not selling these. These are just my personal copies. And these would just look so good on display somewhere. The slabs are huge. These magazine slabs are giant. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to store them. I got to make room for all these slabs, but I've got a few other CGC submissions that are still getting graded or pretty much just sitting at the CGC warehouse. So once those come back, probably in a few months, I'll make another video of those. But overall, I'm happy. Great looking books. All right, have a good one.